Maybe who's your, who are the bowlers you are targeting from the Sri Lankan lineup?
The bowlers we're targeting. Um, no one in particular. We respect each player we play against, and they have an all-round pretty good attack. We played against them a lot in in the recent while, so we're used to all the bowlers, and we follow similar game plans when we do get on top of them. When we did in South Africa, there were certain patterns, and we'll be focusing on the same kind of things.
Yeah, but during that series, Malinga was not there, so he was away for a long time from ODI cricket. So what's your take on Malinga's return?
We've played thousands of games against him, so he's still the same kind of bowler. He does the same things. We're very well prepared against him, and we've had some good success against him in the past. Lots of respect for him as a cricket player, but we'll follow our game plans against him tomorrow. It's all in place.
Uh, AB? Hi, we've seen high scores here at the Oval in recent times. So, if you're batting first, what is a pass score that you'll probably be looking at, which you think is safe to defend?
Absolutely no idea. We don't play our cricket like that. It's all about assessing on the day. We'll have a general idea of the last 10, 20 ODIs and an average score, but you can't just go on that. I like to come out here, get good information from our opening batsmen, our top three, and then after 10, 15, 20 overs, come up with a decent target and break it up in smaller targets as well. So I'm not really exactly sure what to expect. We saw a high scoring game in the last one. Groundsman reckons it won't be as high for tomorrow, so every single wicket you play on is different, and we're not going to come out and say that's what we want.
Maybe it's pretty unusual to have a choice between two spinners who have shown, both of them, I suppose, have an ability to take wickets. And from a South African point of view, how will you decide between the two of them? Is Imran fit? Just how are you looking to use them in this tournament?
Imran is fit and he's our number one bowler, number one spin bowler. So, and Kesh understands his role when it comes to that. And there might be a time in the tournament where we might use a different strategy if we play against a certain opposition or on a certain field. But for tomorrow, Imran is certainly our top bowler and the number one pick. He is fit and ready to go. Unless something happens from here on into the game, he's ready to go. So you should see his name on the team sheet tomorrow.
Just about the fitness of David Miller and anyone else. Is everyone fit and good to go?
Dave passed his fitness test now, and once again, same story as Imi. Unless something happens, he'll be on the team sheet tomorrow as well.
And just personally, you've given up tests recently to focus on ODIs. What would you say this trophy means to you?
I'd love to get my hands on that. It feels good in my hands, actually, to be honest with you. I haven't given up tests. I've decided to take a bit of time away from it to make sure that I am fresh for tournaments like this, and it's worked pretty well so far. I've had some injury scares in the recent past, but luckily got through all of that, and I'm ready to go tomorrow. I'd love to take that home one day.
You've set your sights on the 2019 World Cup, but is it fair to say that if you've already won a major tournament when you get there, half the work might already have been done already?
Yes, I think it'll help a crazy lot if we can win this one for the 2019 World Cup. It's again here in England. If you can do it once here, you can definitely repeat it. So yeah, lots of focus on this tournament. It's a short tournament, so it's not quite the same as the World Cup, not the same kind of challenges. But if you do get your rhythms right in this tournament and you get going. And if we do that, I think we'll be difficult to stop.
AB, the Proteas have a pretty successful recent history against Sri Lanka, obviously knocking them out of the World Cup and the Whitewash Series. Are you expecting a bit of a backlash from them? Do you think their attitude is going to change? They're going to want a bit of revenge?
They always play well in these tournaments. We're well aware of that. And they're a very well-respected team within our group. And they deserve that respect, even though they haven't been in the greatest form in the last season. You come to tournaments like this and anything can happen. It's all about what happens out there in the day. They have a lot of match winners in their team. So it's so much more important for us to make sure that we don't think about what happened in the last series and we focus on tomorrow's game. So yeah, that's what's going to happen.
And with Matthews potentially out of tomorrow's game, has your game plan changed at all? I mean, how does that sort of make you guys feel?
Yeah, we don't plan like that, but all that will happen is we do plan for all 15 players to possibly play in tomorrow's game. So we'll just make that mind shift if that does happen. And that's my responsibility as captain to make sure we are well prepared for every player that plays out there. If Angelo plays, obviously he's a big figure in their side and he's a match winner for them. So it'll be a big loss for them to lose him. But if he does play, same thing applies for us to make sure that we focus on what's happening out there tomorrow and use the plans that we've been working towards.
Maybe no one said it at the time or before the series against England, but were you using, I mean, the fact that everyone played, were you using it very much, even though it was a freestanding series, were you using it as preparation for this tournament as a sort of full status warm-up event, and you know, do you feel like you're peaking as well?
As difficult as it is for me to say, yes, it was definitely a warm-up for us, but I hate to say that because I hate losing games of cricket as well. So it was a bit of a catch-22 to get that right message across to the boys. It was maybe a bit confusing at times, but if you do go into a series thinking that you are wanting to play all 15 players, you're not really focusing on just winning that series because your mind's a little bit elsewhere. So I think that's what happened. But also, like you said there, I think we peaked really well throughout that series and ended up looking back thinking that, you know what, we actually could have won that series easily, which is a great boost of confidence for us, keeping in mind that we played 15 players and it was a bit of a warm-up for the Champions Trophy. So yes, I think we are peaking at the right time. We had a fantastic game in that last ODI and we feel confident going into this first one tomorrow.
Maybe Angelo Matthews had said that Lakshan Sanakan, the Chinaman spinner, is their main weapon for the game against South Africa. So what's your take on the Chinaman spinner who played a few matches in South Africa a couple of months ago?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good bowler. We played him very well in South Africa, and it was a great tour for us to have a look at him because he's got a bit of an odd action. He's got some mystery balls, or not mystery balls, but he turns it both ways. So it was really good preparation for us to have a look at him. I think it would have been interesting to come here not having seen much of him and just to play him in a game first up. So we definitely have a bit of an advantage with that. But still, he's a really good bowler and he's capable of taking wickets, and we're well aware of that. Like I said, we have plans for every player in the team, and it's up to us to be smart with those plans tomorrow.
Maybe, what's it like to come back into a team as the captain? You know, it's one thing to come back in as a player, but if you've been on the sideline for a bit and you come back as a captain, is that a difficult thing to do?
I won't say so. It has its challenges always being captain of this team in any of the formats. But I've done it for quite a while now in this specific format. I feel pretty comfortable with that. I've been well accepted by the side. They're not only one or two leaders in the team, we've got 4 or 5 really strong leaders, and we all have the right to have a voice at times, and we all allow that as a leadership group. So I've never been that kind of leader to come in and to try and claim my territory. I feel very comfortable when I come into the side, and the culture that we've created over the last while allows for me to come in and to do my thing. And like I said, I've got great support in other leaders around me.
And then just on the overrate problem that popped up in the first game, how do you, not just you, but I'm sure it's other people's responsibility, go about managing that, and do you think you've sorted it out now? It's not going to come back and haunt you?
Yeah, it's something you shouldn't be talking about. So we're quite firm with that. We've pinpointed areas where we can get better at. I think we're too slow in the first 10, 15 overs, where not a lot of fielding changes happen, so there's no excuse to get behind the rate in the first 10 to 15 overs, because the game is pretty slow then in any way. So we've targeted that as an area where we can make up time, get 4 or 5 minutes ahead of time. Of course, it does get a bit complicated at the end when there's a partnership going. The game slows down and it's difficult to get the right fields at the right time. So it's no excuse, and it's something we will get right in this tournament. It's just a non-negotiable.
Maybe it seems you got a big selection of all-rounders there that you can pick from. What's the thinking behind who you may play, and is it a choice between an all-rounder and an out-and-out quick like Morne Morkel? How are you balancing that bottom end of the team?
That is a difficult decision, especially for a game like tomorrow's. We know that we have an opportunity and the ability to bowl the Sri Lankan side out. It's a matter of getting that combination right and getting the right players on the park to do so. To me, it's really important to get your top 3-4 bowlers in there. Not that the all-rounders can't take wickets, but I'll probably be leaning towards getting your best bowlers in to make sure we have our best chance to bowl them out and to get 10 wickets in the game.